Hi. By request, I am going to be documenting the process of roasting coffee at home here in beautiful Compton, California on a nice Saturday morning. So we're going to start by showing you some of the tools of the trade. What we have for starters is a Stir Crazy West Bend popcorn popper, and this has been modified just a little bit. The biggest use for this is that it's a base to put the coffee beans inside of, and it has a little rotating stirrer to keep them agitated while they're being heated up. We disabled the heating unit from this so it doesn't heat from the bottom. We have a different heating source, and we replaced some plastic parts with metal ones because it gets really hot. You don't want it to melt. And we just made a little spacer, keeps the heating unit a little bit higher away from the beans. This is called a turbo oven, and it's what you put on top, and it basically, it's a convection oven. It's portable. I never heard of it before, but it makes a great little heating unit. It gets up really hot, up to like 500 degrees, but we only go up to about 440 for, about 420, 440 for roasting coffee. So that's the heating unit. You have your colander to help cool it down and kind of get some of the chaff out. You'll see that later. And our coffee beans. So this is green coffee. It's a little waxy feeling, and it's gone through a lot of processing by the time that it gets to us. This is from Guatemalan Huehuetenango. That's how you say it. So kind of order the green coffee in big bags. We got some other ones. We got an Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. We got Tanzanian coffee and some pretty good Yemen coffee. So we got all kinds of green coffee going on here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the equipment just outside. It gets kind of smoky, so we do it outside on the patio, and let you know how it goes from there. Okay, so we set up our gear outside. We have the turbo oven preheated to about 440 degrees. Now there's little holes in here, so I think the ambient temperature inside is a little lower, probably around 420 or something like that. I don't have any devices to get real accurate, so we just kind of wing it. So the beans are ready to be added. I measured out a pound of the Guatemalan beans right here. It's about max capacity for this thing, about a pound at a time. So we'll add it in and get rolling. So one thing I do every now and then, you may see, is kind of hit the side of it to get some of the beans off the side, so they're all roasting evenly, being agitated evenly. But yeah, pretty easy. Other than that, it's just waiting for some of the signs that you're looking for. So it'll pop at about 400 degrees. You get this audible little popcorn pop as the oils inside start kind of boiling a little bit, and the bean expands. At that point, we'll drop the temperature, kind of draw it out, because from there, every 10 degrees or 20 degrees or so is another roast level. So yeah, you want to slow it down when you get towards the end so you don't accidentally burn your beans. So let's go ahead and add them. And now it's just a waiting game. So here we've hit the first crack. We've started to hear a couple little pops. It means it's about drinkable. If you really want the lightest roast possible, this is it. Okay, so we're well into the first crack now. We won't let it go, way too much longer than this. It's a good roast for what we're doing. There's tons of chaff coming out. It's the stuff you see swirling around in the video, and it's a good thing. In the end, we'll take it out of here and we'll put it into some bowls, and we'll go back and forth, kind of pour them back and forth through the fan to separate the beans from the chaff. I call them beans, they're actually seeds. not. They come from a little berry, usually about 2 seeds per berry. And interesting fact, one coffee tree for a whole year will produce about a pound of these seeds. So this is a year's worth of one coffee tree watermelon. Kind of cool. So let's continue watching. Well done. It's our second crack, so we're gonna take it out. Plug it. Now, our number one goal right now is to slow down cooking. So we need to get it to the fan, cool it down from about 420 degrees to about 200 and something degrees. As quickly as we can. Messy business, roasting coffee. There we go. Here's Ricardo, our junior coffee roaster, and we hold that, okay?
This smells good. Smells like coffee.
Smells like coffee?
Yes.
I want you to hold this, okay?
Wow.
This, when you bring the camera over. Beautiful finished batch. Coffee.
How's it smell, Ricardo? Does it smell good?
Good.
Looks good.
That's it.
Alright.
Okay, so these are, I'm going to just show you real quick a couple of the different stages of the same bean as they roast. So this is the green bean as you saw before, you know, kind of a really tight little dense bean. And then we will go on. This is probably about 8 minutes in or so. You see it kind of turns a little bit yellow. You could start to see some of the chaff on it and see the difference in the color. So that's not drinkable at all. Then we move on. This is about the first crack, so when it gets to about 400 degrees, probably 10 minutes in or so, it expands quite a bit, so it gets bigger. The chaff starts coming off a little more. That's about as light as you can drink it right there. It's a really light roast. Then a couple minutes later, we get to the a couple minutes into the first crack. That's probably kind of a medium roast. And yeah, a lot darker, a little bit smoother. It gets kind of puffy. By that point, it's lost, probably 25% of its weight or so. That's a good roast. Sometimes I stop it right there. I like that coffee. And this is where we ended it today. It's probably about a full city roast, kind of a little bit darker. Still not really like super dark, like a lot of coffee that you'd be buying. You won't really see any oil on this unless you keep it in, keep it without drinking it for a couple of weeks or so. So that's perfect. And when we kind of swirled it around the metal, we got a lot of the chaff off. So it's a beautiful looking bean. It's perfect, and yeah, that's all I got.